Hey everybody, it's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. It's again, I got to talk about bad weather. It seems like this winter has been crazy. We've talked more about severe weather threats than winter weather threats. So talk about a crazy winter so far. And unfortunately, Tuesday we've got another threat for some flooding and severe weather. But let me be very clear about this. This setup is nowhere like last Thursday. So if Thursday on a scale from 0 to 10 was like an 8 or 9, probably one of the most significant severe weather outbreaks in the Charlotte metro area we've had in quite some time. Tomorrow is more like in the 1 to 2 range. The only concern really is flooding because everything's so saturated. It's not going to take a whole lot to cause additional flooding. And speaking of that, let's look at the flash flood threat for today and tonight. This is really through 7 a.m. on Tuesday. You could see that threat for extreme flash flooding across this part of the south. So the good news, I guess, for us is that we're kind of on the east side of this. But this is going to be some significant flooding just to our south. And you can see as we get closer, we're still in the low to medium threat for a big chunk of our viewing area. As we go into tomorrow, notice the entire area is under the low risk. And then we go into Wednesday, that threat shifts back to the east. So for that reason, the flood watches are primarily off to our south and west. You can see them centered where we expect to see the worst flooding. Now, this by no means clears us of flooding. Remember, a flood watch has a certain threshold. The ingredients have to be at a certain level, certain confidence, certain time frame to a watch. You can still get flooding outside of the watch. It just means there's a higher confidence in that watch area. And just to show you that look. Now, severe weather-wise, so because I personally experienced the tornado last Thursday, I know a lot of people are very wary of the tornado threat right now. I'll show you the overall severe weather threat tomorrow. It's on the low-end range in that area in yellow. Remember last week, we were right there. We were in the high range. So we're in this range tomorrow, and it's mainly south and east of I-85, and I'll show you why that is in a minute. Now, there is a high risk on Wednesday, but it's not over us. It's back down to the southwest. We'll have to see if this threat shifts our way on Thursday. I think there could be another round of strong thunderstorms as we go into Thursday as well, which we'll talk about more of that over the next couple of days. Tonight, just light rain. There hasn't been a ton of really heavy rain heading our way. This rainfall we can handle at this current rate. This would be okay. If you look back to the southwest, there's a pretty good cluster of heavy rain down here that's going to be moving through in the next couple of hours into the overnight hours. But you can see what's going on to the west. This is the main wave of rain, and this is likely what's going to arrive tomorrow morning and push through during the morning hours. We do have that connection to the tropics with this again. Big plume of moisture. It's centered more over this region and not into the Carolinas like we had last week. And I can show you that atmospheric river, we call it. Setting up right there. If we're going to see that atmospheric river over us tomorrow, it looks like it's just to our west. You can see that plume right there. But watch what happens through time. I'll push this out until Thursday. Thursday with the cold front, it looks like we might have a pretty good band of showers and storms over us. So that overall severe weather threat for your Tuesday is primarily flooding. There is that small tornado threat and damaging wind threat. And just to break that down geographically for everybody, there's the 2% chance of seeing a tornado south and east. That's a 2% chance within 25 miles of any point. Last week, it was between 5 and 10%. And it ended up being significant. Damaging wind threat, about 5%. So let me show you how this unfolds tomorrow. We'll go through our future cast. There's the light rain tonight. You can see maybe a little lull in the action. And then right around sunrise tomorrow, I expect a pretty good batch of rain to be moving through. And through mid to late morning, could be pretty heavy at times. We'll see another lull in the middle of the day. And if we're going to see severe storms, they're probably going to be right about in here. Let me stop it right there. So notice the time frame, 5 o'clock. We've got this broken line of maybe storms, and these storms look a little suspicious here. Those are ones we're going to have to keep an eye on tomorrow, because if I look at the significant tornado parameter, which is a parameter of ingredients that would cause rotating storms, as we go into the afternoon hours right around that 5 o'clock time frame, you can see south along and south and east of I-85, they're all around 1 or less on our scale, basically 0 to 10. Of a probable tornado. So that's why you have a 2% probability, and that's why we're probably going to watch that area a little bit closer. But I'll show you something that makes me a little more comfortable. Last week, remember, there was actually some rotation tracks showing up. Tomorrow, you can see the rotation tracks are kind of, there's not much. There's one to the north there with the line coming through, but there's nothing widespread that shows me these are going to be surface-based. So overall, I'm not too concerned about the potential for strong storms tomorrow, but one or two could become severe, and it's going to be one of those nowcasting events. I think another day we'll have to watch is Thursday, because you could see this cold front approaching from the west on Thursday. This one might have a little more to work with as it approaches, and I'm going to show you the close-in futurecast here on Thursday just to show you what I mean. I'm going to stop this at 6 a.m. So Thursday's another day, which will be interesting. You can actually see the front showing up in the guidance here pretty well in the morning. So the timing of that is something to keep an eye on. So just a heads up, Thursday might be another day potentially with some strong storms. So tomorrow's threat on the grand scale of thing is kind of the low-end threat, but we're all a little, antsy because of what happened last week. I really think the flood threat will be a bigger deal. And what I didn't show you, I'll go back and show you real quickly. I'll just show you quickly the rainfall totals that could fall with this. There it is. Just to give you a general idea, I was remiss not showing you this, but you could see the rainfall totals have really backed off. So at 6 o'clock, our guidance was showing 1 to 3 inches. It's backed off a little bit. So that's why I'm a little bit encouraged about tomorrow. I think this might be a little bit more just being overly cautious, and we're a little anxious because of what happened last week. But day, I definitely would stay weather aware. Just make sure you got your apps on the phone. Everything's charged up. You're ready to get alerts. Certainly nothing like last week, but something I'll keep an eye on. Of course, I will be posting stuff throughout the day tomorrow. In the morning, I'll post probably a quick little vlog if something changes, and then throughout the afternoon, we'll be tracking those storms again. Have a great Monday, everybody. Hope you're doing well and the cleanup's going well in your neighborhood. And if you missed out on the damage, please, if you can, help out your neighbors as much as possible. My neighbors were awesome this weekend. I could have never got all the work done in our yard without the help of my great neighbors from across the area. That was just amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Pay it forward, everybody. Reach out and help a neighbor if you can in this time of need.